Alright, welcome to the Strange North channel. In this video, I'm going to give you my personal favorites in terms of places to eat and drink in Edmonton, Alberta. Edmonton really has a fantastic food scene, and that surprises some people. I mean, people typically think of Canada's large coastal cities like Vancouver and Toronto as having the best food scenes in Canada. But that's not really true. I mean, on a per capita basis, Edmonton's food scene really punches above its weight, and we have some fantastic restaurants in the city. And I'm not going to throw too much information at you. There are a ton of places to eat in Edmonton. I'm just going to give you my personal favorites in a variety of categories. And then at the very end, I'll tell you the restaurant that I actually eat at the most. Because even though I've been to all the places on this list and I can definitely vouch for them, I don't eat out that often. I prepare the vast majority of my food at home. But if I am going to eat at a restaurant, there's one place that I typically go to above the others. And so I'll tell you that place at the end. And I'm just going to jump right into this list. So the first category I came up with was fancy coffee shop. I'm a big fan of fancy coffee drinks like cappuccinos and macchiatos, and every Canadian city has fantastic, fancy, upscale coffee shops. And my personal favorite in Edmonton right now is District Bakery and Cafe. This is a very popular location. It's right in downtown Edmonton, but this is just an excellent upscale coffee shop overall. First off, the coffee drinks are excellent, and of course they have a variety of other non-coffee drinks as well. They have an in-house bakery that is just fantastic. It's honestly one of the best bakeries in Edmonton. And of course, they do a variety of sandwiches, appetizers, and lunch items as well. And so if you're new to Edmonton and you're looking for a fancy coffee drink and some really good baking, especially if you're in the downtown area, I would definitely recommend District Bakery and Cafe. The next category on my list is casual coffee shop, and my pick in this category is Take 5. This is honestly my favorite overall coffee shop in the city. This place also does in-house baking, and their donuts are the best donuts in the city in my opinion. They're extremely fresh, they're not overly sweet, and they have an excellent variety of flavors. The coffee here is just okay. It's sort of diner quality coffee, but this place just has a ton of character. It's been around for decades. It's located on 118th Avenue in Edmonton's northeast end, which is honestly kind of a rough area of the city. But this area just has a ton of character, and there are so many excellent places to eat along 118th Avenue. And sometimes newcomers tend to avoid 118th Avenue because they hear it has a bit of a sketchy reputation, which it definitely does. But in my opinion, Take 5 is overall the best coffee shop in the city. Their donuts are excellent, and this place just has a very old school vibe. And this is a really great place to meet a friend for a coffee, or just stop in and pick up a dozen donuts to go. And so I consider Take 5 to be the best casual coffee shop in the city, and honestly the best coffee shop overall, and the best donuts in Edmonton. Okay, the next category on my list is the best overall diner, and I'm talking about classic diners here. And my pick for this list is Commodore Restaurant. This is located right on Jasper Avenue in the heart of downtown Edmonton, and this restaurant has been around since 1942. It was opened by the Guy family, a prominent Chinese-Canadian family that opened many businesses in Edmonton. There was a fire in the original location of this restaurant in 1969, and after that the restaurant moved one storefront to the east. And this place is easy to miss, honestly, and even a lot of people in Edmonton that have lived here their whole lives have no idea about this place, although it's definitely very popular, especially with people that live downtown. This restaurant serves a variety of Chinese and Western dishes, and it just really has that classic diner vibe to it. They serve delicious comfort food, and the service is always warm and friendly. And a lot of people in Edmonton might consider Route 99 on 99th Street to be the best overall diner in the city, and I love that place as well. But I think that Commodore is just a little bit better, particularly in terms of the cleanliness and the quality of the food. And so if you're new to Edmonton and you're looking for a classic diner, then I think you can't go wrong by visiting Commodore Restaurant on Jasper Avenue. Okay, the next category on my list is upscale dining. I'm talking about fancier restaurants, somewhere where you might want to dress up, maybe a good place to take a date or have an anniversary or an event or something like that. And my personal favorite for this list is Uccellino. This is also located right on Jasper Avenue, and this is owned by a very prominent Edmonton restaurateur named Daniel Costa. He actually started 3 Italian restaurants right on Jasper Avenue: Corso 32, which is now closed unfortunately, Bar Brico, which still exists, and then Uccellino, which is the newest addition to this group of restaurants. Now, before Corso 32 permanently closed, I would have listed that as my personal pick for the best upscale dining in Edmonton. One way in which I think Edmonton's food scene really shines is in its Italian restaurants. A lot of this is due to the fact that Edmonton has the Italian Italian Center shop. This is now a chain of grocery stores that specializes in imported European foods. And Edmonton has really developed a very strong Italian community that has largely grown up around the Italian Center. And in my opinion, especially when you're looking at other Western Canadian cities, Edmonton just has a very strong Italian food scene. And this is showcased particularly well with the restaurants of Daniel Costa. And Uccellino has consistently produced excellent results. This place is reviewed very well, and they really go through the trouble of making things in an authentic Italian way using authentic Italian ingredients. And Edmonton really has a wide variety of fine dining options, and it was sort of hard to pick one over the others. A few years ago, I would have picked Red Ox Inn, which is my all-time favorite fine dining establishment in Edmonton, and unfortunately they were closed over the pandemic. But fortunately, Uccellino is still open, and so that place is my pick for the best upscale dining in Edmonton right now. All right, the next category on my list is best hamburger. I know burgers are very popular in North America and most people enjoy eating them, and my personal favorite burger joint in Edmonton is Woodshed Burgers on 124th Street. I've only been there once, but honestly, the burger that I had from Woodshed was one of the best burgers I've ever eaten in my life. The patty was a mixture of Angus beef and wild boar, I believe, and I think it had wild boar bacon on it, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I also had fries and onion rings, which were also excellent, and they also do milkshakes and a variety of other popular sides, and this place is very well reviewed, and like I said, it was one of the best burgers I've ever had. When I was there, I actually had to wait a long time for my meal. We had pre-ordered, and then I went to pick it up, and then I ended up having to wait another 15 minutes or so while they were finishing the order, which was kind of annoying. But in terms of the quality, this place is absolutely fantastic, and it has become very popular in Edmonton. And it's just another one of the very popular restaurants along 124th Street, which in my opinion is becoming the best street for restaurants and shopping in the north side of Edmonton. And so in terms of the best burger in Edmonton, I definitely have to give that to Woodshed Burgers. Okay, the next category on my list is best pizza. Obviously, pizza is very popular and most people like to know where they can find the best pizza in their city. And in my opinion, the best pizza by far in Edmonton is Tony's Pizza Palace. The Tony's Palace special pizza, no mushrooms because why would anyone eat fungus, is honestly the best pizza I've ever eaten in my life. They have Italian cooks making the food and they use authentic Italian ingredients. I know this because many years ago I worked for Edmonton's Italian Center, which delivered food to many different restaurants in the city. And every week we would deliver a massive delivery of authentic Italian food to Tony's Pizza Palace. Not only is the pizza excellent, but I've also had really good steak and pasta at this location. And like I mentioned, this place has a really old school authentic vibe, and I really like dining in when possible. And honestly, a lot of people will disagree with this pick. There are many other very popular pizza places in Edmonton, but in my opinion, Tony's is the best pizza in the city. Okay, the next category on this list is best desserts, and for that category, I think my personal favorite is Duchess Bake Shop. This is also located on 124th Street, just down the road from Woodshed Burgers, and this place is extremely popular. I don't like every single product they have, but I think that this is generally considered to be the best, or definitely one of the best bakeries in the city. And in particular, I think that their pies are absolutely fantastic. One of the best desserts that I've eaten in Edmonton is the banana cream pie from Duchess Bake Shop. It's definitely very expensive and it's probably cheaper to make these things on your own, but if you're in the mood to grab something sweet, I would definitely recommend Duchess Bake Shop. And be warned, this place gets extremely busy during peak hours. Okay, the next category on my list is best vegan restaurant. Now I know not many people out there are vegan, but some people are, and they have very specific dietary needs. Now I'm not vegan, but at one time I was. I ate a purely plant-based diet, and when I did, I frequented the Moth Cafe, and I consider this place to be the best vegan restaurant in the city. And like I said, I'm not vegan anymore, but I still enjoy going to this cafe, in particular for their coconut chai, which is one of the best chai teas I've ever had in my life. And I just love this place, honestly. Even if you're an omnivore, I would definitely check it out. The food is really good, the drinks are excellent, and the service is always impeccable. I also just love the atmosphere of this place. It has a very light, positive vibe to it, and I really think people should support this place in part due to its location. This is one of many places in the east side of Edmonton's downtown area, which traditionally has been a bit of a rough area of the city, but downtown's east side has really been rapidly improving over the past few years. And this is partly due to places like Moth Cafe, which provides excellent food, atmosphere, and service to local residents. And even though I no longer eat a strictly plant-based diet, I still occasionally visit this cafe because it's one of the best in the city. Okay, the next category on my list is best overall casual restaurant. I'm just talking about places that are good for casual dining, maybe a place to grab a quick lunch. And my personal pick for this category is Bulgogi House. And this is just an Edmonton institution. And in my opinion, this is the best Korean food in the city and one of my overall favorites in Edmonton. It's very unpretentious and casual. You can feel comfortable going into the restaurant, really whatever you're wearing and however you're feeling. And I always just get the beef bulgogi and the mandu dumplings. And honestly, this is some of the best food in the city. And I also like it because it's off the beaten path a bit. Edmonton has main strips like White Avenue and Jasper Avenue, which have a high concentration of restaurants. But some people never even make it to this little area of the city. And there's actually a bunch of great businesses in this area, and Bulgogi House is one of them. So if you're looking for excellent casual food, you can't go wrong with Bulgogi House. And then the next category on my list is best bar or pub. Now, I'm not a big drinker. I don't go to clubs or pubs really at all, but if I were to go for a drink, I would go to Duggan's Boundary. This is actually on the same block as Bulgogi House, and this place has also been around for many decades, and this is just the perfect pub for hanging out. It's sort of the quintessential neighborhood pub. It's very casual, very friendly. There's always a great vibe in this place, and it really has a classic pub feel with the dark wood booths, dartboards, little stage in the corner, and warm homey service. And similar to Bulgogi House just down the road, I really like how Duggan's Boundary is in a little corner of the city that is not as busy as places like White Avenue or Jasper Avenue. And in my opinion, Duggan's Boundary is just the best place to grab a drink in the city, and they also have excellent pub food. Okay, the next category on my list is the most Edmonton restaurant, what I consider to be the most quintessentially Edmonton restaurant, and that is Green Onion Cake Man on 118th Avenue. Green onion cakes are really the food that Edmonton is most known for. Now, green onion cakes are actually very popular in northern China, and many immigrants to Canada brought this food over with them. But the popularity of green onion cakes has really become very prominent in Edmonton, and this is now one of the foods that Edmonton is best known for. And you'll find green onion cake vendors at most major events and festivals in Edmonton. And the most well-known producer of these cakes in Edmonton is the Green Onion Cake Man, and he has a permanent store on 118th Avenue. Honestly, you can smell this restaurant about a block away. It just smells fantastic. And green onion cakes are wildly popular with Edmontonians, and I'm one of them. I absolutely love them, and I could eat 10 in one sitting. And like I said, green onion cakes really originated in northern China, and they weren't exactly invented in Edmonton, but this product has become very associated with Edmonton, and I consider the Green Onion Cake Man to be the most quintessentially Edmonton restaurant in the city. Okay, so as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I was going to give you the restaurant that I visited the most at the end of my list. Honestly, I don't eat out very often. I've been to all of the places I just listed, and I can definitely vouch for them, but I prepare the vast majority of my food and drinks at home. But if I've been really busy and I haven't had a chance to prepare something, or I just want to grab something really quick, McDonald's is my go-to place. It's very consistent, and I find the double hamburger to be one of the best value items you can buy in any restaurant. And in terms of specific locations, I think if I were to pick one, I would have to give a shout out to the old Strathcona location. And that's largely because I worked at this place during high school. And this is just one of the busiest locations in the city, and I find they're always pretty consistent. And if I'm being honest, over the course of a year, I think that I visit McDonald's more than any other restaurant. And of course, McDonald's is hardly artisanal dining, but I think it deserves an honorable mention. And that was my personal list of best places to eat in Edmonton. I hope I gave you a decent variety of places, and I stand by all of my selections. I hope you found that interesting and informative, and if you're interested in watching more of my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I upload about one new video per week. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the Strange North channel.